So you're the superstar of Onam 2025.
No, I'm not.
You are.
That's still the greatest actor of all time, Mr. Mohanlal. I think working with Fahadh has honestly helped me with my craft. I don't think any other experience has helped me as much as working with him. He is incredibly self-confident of his capabilities, but he's also just insecure enough to. Whereas you have someone like Naslin on the opposite side, he's just excited by every opportunity he's getting right now, and I'm so happy for him. Minal Murli is still, again, like a Malayalam film. They have tried to stay true to our culture and our roots. This mix of exaggerated humor with emotional depth. That's what Altaf is really, really good at. This is not that kind of film. Don't look at the logic. Just do. I was a little nervous and he said, "Don't worry, we'll have to reshoot this." And I'm like, "Wait, what do you mean?" And Altaf's on the side being like, no, this is not going to be reshot. Please do this properly.
Did your father ever say, "I'll launch you"?
Absolutely not. So my parents never really wanted me to get into it. And that itself was a struggle. When people come up to me and say, "Oh, we love Malayalam films, you know, they're so simple and small." I'm like, they're simple, yes, but I don't think they're small.
Oh, yeah.
INDICUS Photo Durable Exterior Paint with Duro Color Technology.
Joyalika's world's favorite jeweler diamond wedding collection by Bride.
Aashik, India's #1 trusted gold buyers. We release pledged gold instant cash payment.
Hi Kalyani, welcome to Kalata Plus.
Hi, sir. It's great to be here.
Great, it's great to meet you, but then I've read once that you are not very fond of giving interviews.
I think I'm at my most vulnerable when I give interviews, and I like hiding behind the mask of the roles that I play.
Okay.
So I'm scared of being judged for who I am in front of when I'm giving interviews. That's kind of
What, are you afraid you'll tell too much about yourself?
I think so. I'm very, very private, and I've been raised to be that. And also I think we live in an age where people take things out of context a lot. So I feel like I've been misunderstood in the past, and I'm scared of just being misunderstood again.
Okay, so then let's talk about your films.
Okay, great.
Let's just talk about your films, right? So you're the superstar of Onam 2025. You have...
No, I'm not.
You are.
That's still the greatest actor of all time, Mr. Mohanlal.
No, but I'm... Okay, that 2025 is what I tried
Onam
to say.
2025, he's got Hriday Purvam coming out.
I know, but I'm saying you've got two films coming out.
Yeah,
So it's like, that's
if it's a numbers game, then maybe.
Yeah. So you've got Odum Kuthira Chaadum Kuthira with Fahadh, and you've got Loca, which seems to be more your film in terms of female superhero. Naslin is in that film. This is Dominic Arun's film, and that is Altaf Salim. So okay, let's talk about Lokah first, right?
Okay.
Because it's easier to get an idea of what kind of film it is from the trailer. What is it?
I'm a little afraid if the trailer, it was a teaser, it was just 1 minute 30 seconds, but it got a lot of attention that we didn't expect also. We're a little afraid that sort of overhyped the film a little to be a Marvel sort of film or a Dune sort of film. We want people to know that what they're still going to watch is a Malayalam film. Imagine asking, like, we're known for a specific type of, our industry is known for a specific type of filmmaking and type of storytelling, right? And that's not changing. We're not suddenly going away from what we're known for into something that is completely different. Where what the film is trying to do is we're combining superhero elements with things that Malayalis, especially Malayalis, are very familiar with. It is, at the end of it, a Malayalam film, but we're hoping to make it a bit of a different sort of film from what we're used to. It's still a Malayalam film at the end of it.
So when you say Malayalis are used to, what do you mean? Like what, for example, sentiment, something like that?
Yeah, I think we work a lot in the raw realistic space. We don't work too much in the exaggerated action. We don't work too much in those kind of spaces. So I think even when people when people come up to me and say, "Oh, we love Malayalam films, you know, they're so simple and small," I'm like, they're simple, yes, but I don't think they're small.
Small, yeah.
Yeah. They're not spectacles in the way that you guys or most people are used to, but they're still, in my head, it's still a big film. And I think this one is also similar in that way. Whatever said, and like you mentioned, it is sort of a female-centric film. It is a Malayalam film. So we still had to work within all of those restraints to make this whatever it could be. And in that sense, we've done whatever we can to make it a spectacle. But it's still, like I said, it still connects with Malayali sentiments. It still connects with our roots in many ways. I can't go into... I've been given a whole list of things I cannot talk about. But yes, when you watch the film, you'll understand why we're talking about how it does connect to Malayali roots.
We know your name is Chandra.
Yes, that much. I'm allowed to say like 5 things. I will make sure I say those 5 things.
What are the other 4 things?
One is that, I mean, we'll get into it when we get into it.
Okay,
so,
okay.
yeah.
Right. And so are you basically saying this will be like, because I thought Minnal Murli is a masterpiece in the sense that it was a very, very Indian superhero movie.
Exactly.
This is something like that?
It is in that, but I would say the only difference is Minnal Murli is still, again, like a Malayalam film, they have tried to stay true to our culture and our roots, and also in the visual
aesthetic, yeah.
aesthetic. Ours is a lot more, I wouldn't say commercialized, but graphic novelized.
Yeah, I think it looks a little more westernized.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, not terribly, but in terms of costuming,
exactly.
in terms of the sets, then it like I think.
So the world that we've created, despite it being in present day places and present day cities, the visual storytelling in terms of costume sets, even I would say even in terms of like dialogues, is a little graphic novelized. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah. Yes.
And what can you tell us about Odum Kuthira? I'm really curious about, because Nyandigal Natil Idavela is one of my favorite films, and I was wondering.
You pronounced it pretty well.
Sorry?
I love how you pronounced it pretty well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I was really like impressed by the way he took the subject. Let's not spoil for those who've not seen it and it's still there. A supposedly serious subject, and made this very comic drama kind of thing with it.
Yeah.
But when I saw Odum Kuthira's trailer, I was like, what is this movie really about? People are saying romance, but what is the is it some zany thing? Is that what it is?
So I would say it's a rom-com with a little less rom and a lot more com.
Okay.
But it's basically, I've been saying this in interviews, but it's the truth. It's basically, imagine you've got a Korean rom-com that's told in a very satirical way, in the style of maybe Woody Allen or Wes Anderson.
Okay.
That's kind of what the film is. That's my best way to describe what the film is. Like you said though, this mix of exaggerated humor with emotional depth, that's what Altaf is really good at. It's his biggest strength. And even in this film, you'll find moments, he wanted this to be such a jolly film. Such a jolly film to the extent that even as a process for actors, he was like, I don't want you guys to prep for this film. He's told all of us, he's told me and Fahadh, if we come and ask him a doubt, he'll be like, this is not that kind of film. Don't look at the logic. Just do. Just have fun. So even in those moments, he will find small spaces of emotional honesty, which is just absolutely beautiful. And I think that's what he is really good at. And to me, that's what drew me to wanting to be a part of this film.
So are you choosy? Like, as in, do you kind of, because I remember when your Hello with Vikram Kumar, your first film with Akhil Akineni released, you said there are many people who are waiting to grab a chance to become like a star or whatever it is. So I just have to grab whatever good opportunity comes my way. How do you choose films today?
Today, I think it's very different, and I like, in fact, looking back at the interviews and my old self and seeing that I love that my experiences here have made me grow.
Okay.
I think even people now can see, I have not had a film for the last 1 year release. I've been working on these 2.
Yeah.
And it's mainly because it's just who I am at this point. It could change, it could evolve, and I'm open to that evolution. But right now, I'm incredibly choosy about what I want to do, purely because I want to give it my all. And I also have a bit of a commitment issue, so I can't see 2-3 films ahead. For example, now I'm doing Marshall with Karthi sir, and I know that that's going to take up the next 3 months or 4 months of my time. It may not take up every day of the 3 months or 4 months, but it will take up that much time. And I'd rather focus on that. And when people are like, oh, there's another film coming around the same timeline, or there's another film right after that, I'm like, let's wait. It's okay. I don't want to listen right now because I'd rather wait. I want to know what I can do for this character to know what more I can do and what other characters I can play. So right now, that's kind of where I am. I don't know if that makes much sense.
It makes sense, but are you saying that, are you done with Ravi Mohan's Genie? Is that?
Yeah, that's done.
That's done, okay.
I'm trying to figure out when that will release.
Okay, so what you're saying is, because I'm working with Karthi in this movie, that's going to be my sole focus.
Yeah.
Is that how you work?
I usually work and I usually start taking up narrations a little bit after I've found this character. And
okay.
Yeah. So once I found this character and focused on her and found that character, and I know, okay, I'm able to pull off a role like this, or I'm uncomfortable in a role like this, or this is where my limit is. Every actor has their limits. So once I realize that, I'll know how to fine tune my selection for the other film. Otherwise, if I'm just signing 3-4 films at the same time, the 4th film, I don't even know if I'll be able to pull off. This is a whole learning process for me, right? So with each film, I'm learning to fine tune what else I can do or what other characters I can do.
So you're like the opposite of your dad, because your dad was like he was cranking out films.
That comes from only privilege, sir. It comes from the fact that I don't have to work to earn money and to provide for my family. My father, his life was not like that.
But I'm saying they were also a generation where they didn't overthink and they just instinctively made a bunch. I mean, even after he became successful, there would be 2-3 films of his a year.
Yeah.
You know, it's like and as a director, it's difficult because it's as an actor. I'm not saying it's easy, but this is like showing up and doing your role and going there. It's like coordinating the entire film.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think for him, it also, like I said, there is a bit of privilege in there. He's just used to working like that. But also, I think he's gotten to a point where he's so comfortable.
Yeah.
And he's always told me this. He's always said, we are, as a generation of people in the industry, we are so much more lucky because nothing that we did, not everything that we did got scrutinized.
You mean him?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever he did or his generation did, not every frame was scrutinized, not every action was scrutinized, not everything was overanalyzed. Whereas for us today, every single thing, anyone is able to take a frame of any movie and over scrutinize it. And I think that's where the overthinking comes for my entire generation, I feel.
Yeah, it's like, should I do this? Should I do that? Are they going to freeze frame this shot? And is that going to be memed?
Yeah.
And that kind of thing.
So he really feels that that's why things have changed now. Even he's not able to make movies as quickly as he used to, because every single thing requires 5 people overlooking everything, looking at every detail and seeing if it's okay.
So, this is an inevitable question. You have, on the one hand, you're working with Naslin. On the other hand, you're working with Fahadh. Both you're working with for the first time. What's it like? What's the process like?
I think working with Fahadh has honestly helped me with my craft. I don't think any other experience has helped me as much as working with him. I'll tell you something. On the first day that we shot, I was nervous. There was this big scene. Altaf put me right in the middle. There's no process of warm-up over here. He put me right in the middle of a scene where it was, like I said, it was one of those moments where you would mix the emotional with the humor. And so I was a little nervous and he said, don't worry, we'll have to reshoot this. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? He's like, no, it's my first few days. It takes me some time to find my character. So most of the time, I'll end up reshooting. After the first few days is when I get into the character and I'll be like, oh shit, whatever I did before was not right. So we're going to reshoot this. So he was like, you don't worry, this is going to be reshot. And Altaf's on the side being like, no, this is not going to be reshot. Please do this properly. So I think what made me realize, or what made me feel secure in my own process is that happens to me a lot. And to know that it happens even to somebody like a Fahadh, it's amazing. He is one of the greatest actors of this industry, but even he takes his time to warm up to a character. I mean, knowing that as an actor, it made me feel secure in my own process. That was something that really helped. And the other thing is, I've always felt that the biggest strength, if you look at all the greatest actors out there, they have you need 2 things to be incredibly strong as an actor. 1, you need to be incredibly self-confident, and 2, you need to be incredibly insecure. And Fahadh actually is, I have the insecurity part locked on really well. I've not aced the self-confidence area, but Fahadh is that. He is incredibly self-confident of his capabilities, but he's also just insecure enough to want to push every shot a little bit more.
Yeah.
And realizing that, again, made me secure in my own process, made me trust my own process a little bit more. And he's also one of those actors that no matter how simple the shot is, it could really just be something as simple as you don't see anything. He's lying down and his fingers on the frame. He will still watch the monitor and be like, I could do this a little better. Imagine that, right? So he is that actor. So to see that kind of commitment in every single shot was amazing for me. And it was a really big learning process. Whereas you have someone like Naslin on the opposite side who really, you can see he's just excited by every opportunity he's getting right now, and I'm so happy for him because you can tell this is all he's ever wanted, and you can see that in his performance. You can see that in the way that he behaves on set. It's so much fun to work with him because he just enjoys the process so much. So there was a lot more. It felt like more like I was working with a friend over there. Whereas it felt like I was working or observing a teacher in the other.
But like, Fahadh, you said there are some things that he wants in a particular way or he thinks about it. Is Naslin a more like a let go, spontaneous?
He's a lot more on the let go. But I think, see, every actor grows, and I feel like he will at one point reach that point where he will, because like I said, once we do a couple of things, we will always think about how do we do this differently from what we've done before.
Yeah.
So when he reaches that point, I'm sure even he's going to be there because he's so passionate about what he does.
Yeah.
So
actually, I had a wonderful conversation about this with the actor Pasupati.
Yeah.
Because I this is long back, and I asked him, you can't change your face. I mean, unless you do prosthetics or something like that. So you smile a certain way.
Exactly.
You express surprise a certain way.
Exactly.
I mean, like, after 5 films in which you're new,
Yeah,
how do you
exactly.
Do the new things, right?
Yeah.
How do you do the new things?
That's the whole thing. It is hard, and which is why Loka was a little hard for me as well, because I've always felt, and even Dad's always said that the more natural your performance is, the more relatable it ends up being, right? Whereas Loka's character was very unlike the real me. I've always put in a little bit of my own self into every character that I've played in order to bring some soul into her. Mm-hmm. But when Dominic came to me itself, he was like, your personality and her are not the same. So we'll have to do something completely different. And his vision for her was very, very specific. She's very cold, very emotionally detached to a point where even her eyes don't give any emotions out. Very enigmatic. And I don't think us as Indian audiences are used to characters like that, right? So there is a part of me that's insecure about how people will receive her. But there is a reason she is like that. And I mean, like I said, that NDA has been signed where I can't speak about why, but so much of her backstory has to deal with why she is who she is and the way that she behaves. So I was so restrained on that set because he didn't allow me to blink, he didn't allow me to frown, he didn't allow me to do anything. And so going from there into Odum Kuthira sets, it was suddenly like I was like one child that was allowed to roam free in a candy store, I was just like, wow, I can use my hands, I can use my head.
But you were doing both simultaneously.
Yeah, we were shooting.
But didn't you say that is a problem because you like to do one at a time?
So what happened was it wasn't planned that way. We were supposed to finish Odum Kuthira and then move into Loka. But what ended up happening was there were a lot of weather issues and date issues that happened. We've been shooting Odum Kuthira for a very long time. I was never meant to have 2 releases at the same time. So it just happened like that, and obviously I had to adapt my process to that. But like I said, it was great to know that it helped. It was really nice to know that, oh, I can still do this, because I always thought I could never do it. I never thought I could juggle 2, especially such contrasting characters at the same time. But to know that doing one helped the other was actually a learning process for me as well. So
the big thing, did Fahadh end up reshooting those early scenes?
No. So yeah, I'm sure he wanted to, and I'm sure he tried his best to convince Altaf, but he's like, even if we shoot the old one, I like what we have here, I'll keep this only. So then Fahadh's like, okay.
So what is your earliest memory of watching a movie?
Sir, I honestly have no idea. I've been asked this question so many times before, and it's a strange question, or I thought it was a strange question because I thought, okay, well, everybody's been watching films since they were born, right? And I realized, no, that's not the case. A lot of people really remember their first theatrical film experience, but from when I was born, I think I'm sure when I was 1 or 2 also, my parents would have taken me for a movie. So I don't really specifically remember that moment. I just remember when I was a kid, I remember watching The Lion King a lot, and it definitely influenced a lot of how I see art today.
Okay.
But yeah.
For example?
I've worked in art and in Broadway
And
in the
architecture,
US. Yeah,
you
and I
studied
worked on
architecture.
Broadway sets in the US when I was studying there. And so much of it had to do with when I watched The Lion King and I rewatched it on Broadway. There was just a spark in me that united, and I was like, wow, that 2D has become this, and to see that transformation and to see that translate onto the stage, it did something in me. And that's when I was like, I wanted to, I worked on sets there. And so
You worked on the sets of the Broadway production of Lion King.
not of Lion King, but I worked
On other.
on other productions.
Yeah.
In fact, it was, I did work on the stage that they performed in, but no, I did not work on The Lion King.
Right. So what made you want to say, I want to do architecture in the US?
I didn't want to do it. It was just one of those things of an Indian parent saying, you need to study before you do anything else. I chose architecture because I knew that if I was working, I didn't know I wanted to be an actor, but I knew I wanted to work in cinema. And Sabu sir has been, or Sabu Cyril, he's been an inspiration for me, like since childhood, like what he was doing, the things he was building. So I always thought maybe that's the field that I would go into. And so architecture was the closest thing to that, because to create sets, I could draw plans, make all of those models and do all of that. So that's why I chose architecture, not because of any other reason. There was the passion was always cinema.
Did your father ever say, I'll launch you?
Absolutely not. In fact, for the longest time, he never wanted me to be a part of this industry. And I think that anyone who works in the industry will understand that sentiment. I remember speaking to Dulquer also about this, about how his family didn't want him to get into the industry as well. And like I said, these guys work a lot. We all see the glamorous side of things, but honestly, I've seen the way that my dad has worked all of his life, and it's not as glamorous as people think. There's a lot that happens. And I don't think any parent would want that for their child. So my parents never really wanted me to get into it. And that itself was a struggle. But yeah, I don't know how to explain this.
Okay, to go to the future, if you have children, would you say go into films?
Sir, I can't tell them to do something that I myself did. I mean, I can't tell them to not do something that I myself did.
You can't say that, right? Yeah, it's like... but in general, when you came to the industry, your father says, don't go into films. But you end up doing that. And then, so at that point, what did your mom and dad tell you? Like, what is the best piece of advice they gave you?
I think my mom always knew that this is where I belonged. My dad was just always in refusal, which is why even to launch me, he was like, I don't think I'm the right person for it because I'd never seen you as it. A director needs to be inspired by their actors in order to actually work with them, right? So he's never seen that kind of inspiration in me, or he's never seen me as that.
Right.
So I don't think he ever wanted to work with me because of that. But the advice that I think both of them gave me, I don't know, it's weird. My parents aren't very advising people. Is that a word again?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really advise so much. I don't think my dad even knows half the time what film I'm doing and what the film is about. My mom also, she's like, just as long as you think you'll be happy to get up and go to work, then you're okay.
That's good advice.
That's the only advice mom's given me. And my dad's like, he's like, you learn along the way. He's like, I'm not going to give you all of the things that I've learned because it's very different now.
Yeah.
So he's like, just figure it out on the way. I was like, okay, cool, thanks.
INDICUS Photo, durable exterior paint with Duro color technology.
Joyalika's world's favorite jeweler diamond wedding collection by Pride.
Aashik, India's #1 trusted gold buyers. We release pledged gold instant cash payment.